Hi, I'm Lam. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about the new Rare Beauties True to Myself eyeshadow palette, and we're going to test it along with others Rare Beauty makeup products such as the Blush and Glow liquid blush and liquid highlighters, as well as a lip souffle. I'm also going to compare the swatches from this Rare Beauty brand new eyeshadow palettes to a bunch of my other luxury eyeshadow palettes, such as the bronze from Natasha Denona, the classic Soft Glam from ABH, and the ever iconic Divine Rose 1. Because let's be honest, it can be a little bit repetitive with neutral eyeshadow palette. All of my social media links will be in the description box along with similar videos, product information, timestamps, and all of that. First, we are going to cover up this blank canvas with some colors. Buckle up, it's going to be a long one. Hello, this is Recorded Lam taking over. I'm showing you that on my face I'm wearing the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation as well as the Flawless Setting Powder. Oh, I have a review about these two products. I'll link it down below and in the description box. Make sure you check it out after you watch this video, but now the main character, the Rare Beauty palette. It looks like this. The packaging is really nice and secure. You pull this part out and the palette is inside. Look at how simply it is, and so simple, so gorgeous. Let's do the eye look right now. I am so excited. So there is matte, metallic, and glitter shades in this palette. First of all, I'm taking this mid-tone orange, and there's not much kickback in the pan as you can see, and I'm just blending it all over the crease, add a little bit for definition here and there, pour it out and up, and then I get a denser brush, dip into this dark, well, never mind, it's not that dark, a brown, kind of like a purplish leaning brown, and then I take this cool tone eggplant shade to put it on the outer half of my lower lash line just to see the differences between the two shades. And then I get this champagne pink for the inner corner highlight. And finally, the star of the palette. Look at the texture of this glitter topper. It's so bronzy and oh my god, that's the shocking face right there. It's gorgeous. Now I'm trying to test out with the brush to see if it picks up anything, and yep, it is picking up. My first impression is that why is it so how can it stick to the eyelid so easily? And then I add a little bit of eyeliner and mascara, and this is the finished look. Whew, now we're moving on to the face product. I have the blush and the highlighter I will use. This is a liquid kind of form and it looks intense at first. Trust me, I was scared. But now you see how easy it's blend and it's just smoothing and it doesn't accentuate anything. And now is the highlighter shade. This is a deeper kind of highlight. It's more of like a luminous blush on me. And this is the side with nothing on, just a contour. And this is the side with the Rare Beauty's blush and highlighter. Now is the liquid lipstick, kind of a mousse-like texture in the shade Fearless. This is a deep kind of mauve shade. Look at how easy it is and beautiful natural it is. This is the finished look of everything. I can't believe how pretty it looks. Let's do some swatching. Yay! As you can see, I am swatching all the shades from left to right in the palette. The eyeshadow palette, I mean, and you can see the shades are very soft. They definitely can be built up on each other, layer by layer, but with the first swatch on bare skin with no primer, they are a little bit weak, to be honest. But if someone who likes natural looks probably will enjoy it, and the glitter shade is impressive. This is the blush and the liquid highlight, and then finally the liquid lip souffle kind of a lipstick. Wow, I am that glitter shade is unbelievable. This palette retails for 29 US dollars. In case you were wondering, Lam, why is the color of the lighting in your videos changing? It's the sun's fault. It's a sleek eyeshadow palette that includes 7 easy to wear, crease resistant shades in a range of finishes that stay put all day without fading. It is free of parabens, formaldehyde, and mineral oil. It's also vegan and cruelty free. Oh, here comes the sun. It's bright again. In this palette, there's 1, 2, 3 traditional mattes. There are 3 metallic shades. Then we have a glittery top coat kind of shade. Let's go do the swatches before the light betrays us again. I'm just kind of gonna go through from left to right, and then I'll pull up other equivalents in other palettes that I have. Purpley eggplant kind of a shade right here against the Veloria shade in the Divine Rose 1 from Pat McGrath and Dusty Rose from Soft Glam. Rare Beauty, Veloria, and Dusty Rose. They look kind of similar in the pan, but no, they're not very similar. The one from Rare Beauty is the lightest and the coolest of all 3. The warmest one would be Dusty Rose, and Veloria is kind of in between. I would say these two have the same depth, but they are not the same. And you can see the texture of these 3 are different from each other too. Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow formula, matte specifically, is the most powdery of all of them. And this one is more creamy, and this one from the Rare Beauty palette is is pressed very hard into the palette, so the pigmentation is very soft and you do not have as much of a powderiness or kickback, in other words, when you dip your brush or your fingers into the matte shadows. Next up, we're going to swatch this shade against Beach from the Bronze Palace, Burned Orange from Soft Glam. I would say they are pretty close, and again the same as like this in this case. In this case also the Rare Beauty one is the softest among the 3, and they are probably going to be similar except that these 2 are much deeper, so they are going to show up a lot more. We're going to swatch this very interesting shimmery glittery metallic duochrome shade against Rose Dusk from Divine Rose 1, Bliss from Bronze Palette, Rose Pink from Soft Glam. I'm also going to swatch that shade against VR Rose Venus because I think they have very similar undertone with the peachiness duochrome going on. Rare Beauty, Rose Dusk, Divine Rose 1, and here is VR Rose Venus from Divine Rose 1. This is Bliss, Rose Pink from Soft Glam. Closest shade would be Bliss. These 2 have the heaviest pink duochrome going on, even though it looks closer to the Rose Pink from Soft Glam, but Rose Pink is just a metallic. It doesn't have a duochrome effect. And same for Rose Dusk, it doesn't have that effect either. It just looked kind of similar in the pan to the Rare Beauty one. That's why I swatched them. But really, obviously, 1, 2, 3. These 3 are the comparable ones, and among the 3, these 2 have the most pink in it. The Via Rose Venus from Divine Rose 1 just has a lot more peachiness and gold shimmer throughout. When you layer it, it's going to be built up nicely, and actually now that it's layered, I can see that it has more of a bluish and pinkish kind of a flip. And now when you turn it like that, then you can see the more peachiness of it going through. I'm going to save the glitter shade for last because I have quite a few things to talk about it, but I will do the next shade right here against Extreme Mahogany from Divine Rose 1, Rare Beauty, Pat McGrath. Okay, there's not really much of a comparison, although they're kind of the same shade, just different depth. Like a chocolatey brown with a little bit of a purple tint to it. It's not nearly as cool tone as the first shade that we swatch here, but it's still a purple leaning kind of a brown. Let's see if we can build up the intensity of it. Okay, so you can build up the intensity a little bit, but it's not going to be as intense as Pat McGrath's shadow ever. There's not really anything that is this pink in the other palettes I want to talk about with this, so I'm not going to swatch it, and we're going to go through the gold shade. Refined Gold, Pat McGrath. Bronze in Soft Glam. There's not really a dupe for this shade either. It's not as metallic as the one from Soft Glam. Soft Glam is the most metallic of all three, and also it is called bronze, so it's the most bronzy of all three. The Refined Gold 002 is the softest of the three, and it has the least gold in it. This is more of like a velvet kind of finish, not really a metallic finish though. Finally, the most exciting shade, in my opinion, in this palette is this beautiful full moon glitter. And the only one in my collection that's come close to that amount of glitteriness is this shade right here, which is Astro Solstice from Divine Rose 1. This is the Rare Beauty. It feels even more junky, glittery than the Astro Solstice from Divine Rose 1. It's very, very glittery and junky. This is Astro Solstice. It's a lot smoother in texture, and the glitters are a lot smaller. This one is a little silvery and a little more icy and thinner in formulas. That's the comparison. Surprise, surprise, I forgot something. I did not tell you the information on the blush, the highlight, and the Souffle lipstick. So now I'm gonna do that. The blush is called a Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush, and there are a total of 8 shades, and there are 2 different formulas, a dewy and a matte formula. So the one shade that I used on my cheek today, which was called Bliss, is a matte nude pink. They retail for $20 for 7.5 milliliters or 0.25 ounces. It is a weightless, long-lasting liquid blush that blends and builds beautifully for a soft, healthy flush. Positive Light Liquid Luminizer Highlight, 6 colors, $22 for 15 milliliters or 0.5 ounces. So they are bigger size than the blush. Surprisingly, it says it's a silky second skin liquid highlighter that creates a lasting, soft, and luminous finish. The shade I use on my cheeks today is called Transcend, which is a rose gold. Lip Souffle Matte Cream Lipstick. It's a mini sample I got from Sephora. The shade I got is called, I think, Fearless. Yeah, Fearless, which is a deep mauve rose. And this is $20 for 3.9 milliliters or 0.13 ounces. And it says this is a weightless, air-whipped lip cream that hugs the lips with rich color and nourishing hydration that gives a soft, velvety, matte finish, and it's supposed to be a liquid lipstick kind of a formula. Let's start the final thought section with these products first and save the eyeshadow palette for last. With Rare Beauty, I think Selena really has a vision, and she wants her products to be very weightless, very effortless, and looks natural. She wants you to be the best version of yourself when you use her product, and it's supposed to be very easy to use, easy to blend. That is the case for the liquid lipstick and the blush and the highlighter. The blush I use is the matte formula, and it was matte. It's not a flat matte. It's like a creamy, velvety, kind of a soft matte. I dab it on first, and then I thought, oh my god, it looks too much. But then I was able to blend it out beautifully with just my finger, and it was quick, and it looks very, very beautiful and pretty. My face was like powdered heavily, pretty heavily today, and it didn't mess with any of my makeup underneath, or it didn't bunch up weirdly with the powder foundation I had on at all. And that is the same for the highlighter. The thing with the highlighter is that it's not dewy kind of a highlighter. It's not going to look metallic. It's not going to look glowy. It's just going to be, it's almost like dewy finish blush in a way, specifically for this rose gold shade. I probably can use it by itself and it would be a combination of blush and highlighter at the same time, but a very, very subtle highlighter. Again, very easy to use, blends out beautifully, and very, very soft. And this Souffle lip cream, it's very smoothing on the lip, very easy to use, very lightweight. It is not a matte liquid lipstick kind of a formula. It's more of like a very whipped kind of formula, so it will transfer. Not going to be the most long-lasting lip product ever, but it's very comfortable to wear, and this shade is beautiful. You can also adjust the depth of it. If you just use one layer and blend it out with your finger, you will get something like this. Very, very natural. But if you build it up, it will be very intense. But because it's not transfer free and it's such a whipped, easy to move around formula, I would recommend use a lip liner just to prevent it from going outside too much and just go everywhere. Now is the main character, the eyeshadow palette. Again, it's supposed to be effortless, soft, easy to use, everyday friendly with a pop option, the glitter for a nighttime look. And today, don't even criticize me for going too far with this look. I just thought I want to see how glittery it can get, and it does get really glittery and beautiful. I do like how compact it is, and you see there is kind of like a inward kind of a thing going on, which makes holding the palette so much easier. Even when I was showing you what color I use, I hold it like this, and voila, it's the easiest palette to show on camera. It's small, it's compact, it's lightweight, and there is a magnetic closure. It's just a plastic case. I do like the long mirror. I'm able to see both of my eyes at the same time, and I like this shape of the half moon on the side and then the full moon in the middle. Very, very clear vision there. Love that. The colors in this palette are not deep by any means. If you are deeper than my skin tone, which I am a medium olive skin tone, if you are tan or deeper skin tone, you probably will have a hard time building up the intensity and the depth in this palette, because the darkest shade is this one right here, but it's not even that dark. Pale, light to light medium. Here's the sun that changing color on us again. Yay! What was I talking about? Or maybe you are looking for something that is effortless and soft and not intense at all. In that case, this palette is for you. All of my eye brushes were able to dip into them just fine. There is enough space for the brush. I'm going to talk about the formula of the eyeshadows in the palette. First of all, the matte, it's pressed pretty hard into the pan. So when you dip your brush into the pan or your finger, you will not get a lot of powderiness, like there's not a lot of kick up. And because of that, the eyeshadow is rather more buildable than super pigmented immediately, which is a great thing for a beginner or someone who likes a softer look, someone who has super light skin tone. These shades are not intimidating by any means. You don't have to be careful, like to tap your brush lightly, not to have too much pigment, like the case for Pat McGrath eyeshadow, for example. Totally opposite. The metallic shades, pink with a little bit of blue and peach flip, duochrome is the most metallic of all. I don't know if you can see the peachiness of it. I don't know, in camera it seemed to not pick it up, but this is the most metallic. These two are less metallic. In fact, this one is almost like a velvet kind of finish. It doesn't really shine as much. I used this shade today in my inner corner, and you can see it's a very soft kind of a highlight shade. So the shimmers are not very strong. Again, it's the same theme, which I think means that Selena has a clear vision and she's sticking to it, which is a good thing. They're very soft, both the metallic and the mattes. They're very, very soft. This glitter shade, the full moon, is the star of this palette. Because it's so junky and it's so strong, you if you want to use it in small area, you have to be super careful and precise with it, because when you dip your brush or your finger onto the pan, you will get a lot of glitteriness. I would say tap lightly is the best way to use it in a controlled way. This is a more standalone kind of a glitter shade. Let's say you use it on top of this pink shade, you will not see the pink shade underneath. It's so thick in texture that it will just completely cover up the shade underneath. That's why I say this glitter topper is a standalone kind of a shade. There are multiple colors of glitters that create this shade. There's barely any fallout. Of course, with any glittery shade, I expect fallout on the face. But with this glitter, even though it's so intense, there's just a little bit of fallout. When I swatch this on my arm and then I turn my finger around, and there's no glitter in here. So it has some kind of adhesive in here too. So you probably don't need to use a glitter glue. And because of that, I question how long it will last compared to the other colors or the other glitters that I have in my collection. How long is this formula going to stay like tacky like that and being able to hold on to your skin? For a brand new palette, as of today, the first time I've used it, it performs beautifully. The matte, the metallics, and the glitter, none of them form hard pan. That's a thumbs up for me. I still can't get over how the Huda Beauty chocolate palette just create hard pan on me after the first time using. It's just crazy, and link will be up here and down in the description box. Check out that video to understand my issue. I do like this palette. It's not my most favorite palette because, let's be honest, I like a little bit more intensity in terms of the pigment and the formulas sometimes, but this is a very lovely everyday palette. If you are new to makeup, if you are on a budget, because it's pretty cheap compared to other palettes in Sephora, if you're into like small minimal packaging, you like softer pigment with an option to make it nighttime, if you don't have deep skin tone, I think you will really enjoy this palette, and it's very easy to use also. And actually the same for the liquid blush, the highlighter, as well as this lipstick. If you are into a just very easy experience with makeup, you will like Rare Beauty. I think forgot to say about this lipstick is that it feels like almost like a Benefit Professional kind of a formula. So it's a very whipped mousse-like texture that is glide onto the lips and just blur everything out. I am more interested now to see what Selena will come up with in the future, and I want to try out her products. The price is right. It's not overly expensive like a lot of other beauty brands at Sephora. So thumbs up for me about that too. Very budget friendly, very beginner friendly, and also makeup artist. If you are on the go, if you like an effortless look, if your client wants something a little more natural per se, this is a great brand to invest in. Okay, I have been rambling on enough. I will let you go. I hope you enjoy this video. Please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Join our community. Let's grow it together. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in my next video. Until next time, please don't flop.